When the agreements were beginning and the negotiations started, the first picture that was out in the newspapers was a big picture, and it said, "The men of the peace." We were so furious. Women have been working so hard for peace for so many years and never heard.
We've been excluded. We're not being consulted or called for participation. And then I was thinking, I don't think this peace process or this reconciliation will work because it lacks gender perspective.
This international community completely understanding how you deal with war through dealing with men with arms, completely not thinking of experiences on the ground, of experiences of women peace builders.
Pour moi, la paix, c'est pas seulement qu'il n'y a pas de balles qui crépitent. La paix, pour moi, c'est me sentir bien. Je peux quitter ma maison à n'importe quelle heure sans craindre que je vais être violée sur la route, sans craindre que je vais être attaquée par un groupe armé. Les femmes ont raison de travailler sur la paix. Et c'est tout le monde qui doit venir avec les femmes pour travailler pour la paix.
We all live in a society shaped enormously by gender. I had real work to do both on myself, to kind of reflect on the cost of masculinities in my own life, and to address this massive problem of men's violence against women.
Violence against women have been there everywhere. So that's why women talk about peace in another way.
It's not a biologically being a woman, so hence we magically solve everything, but it's the specific experiences we have as opposed to men with guns.
We are the women that are on the ground. We know what is happening to us. We know what we want. We are supposed to be actors. We are not just supposed to sit there and watch.
If the peace talks were just discussing how to stop the killing, then the natural conclusion is, yes, you should be talking to the men with guns. But the peace talks in Bosnia, they literally pinned down our constitution. We are stuck with that constitution 25 years later. So if we are discussing a whole vision of a country, for sure, you cannot exclude 50% of the population.
We, as women, are capable of building peace. We try to bring the voices of women not as victims, but as voices of women in our society. At the international level, we have to be present. We have a different voice to raise.
We're doing the activism work. We're meeting families. We're doing the humanitarian aid. We do women's rights projects. So we're the one have louder voices within these communities.
And I think we within WILP's initiative in Bosnia have extensively explored the consequences on the lives of women, but also on the society. When women are included, it's basically on a very kind of nominal level. We count the number of women that are representative in politics, but we don't really address the patriarchal structures. So, okay, you can provide support to victims of sexual violence, or civilian victims of war, but if we discuss constitutional changes and you want your piece of the cake, then that's really outside of your domain.
So far, the participation of women at the political level is very limited at the United Nations institutions, and our spaces are not those wide, and we are not given all the chances. Actually, we are, speaking about structured discrimination.
We want a strong and robust international accountability architecture. In as much as the structure remains intact, getting women's voices into those structures won't have the impact that it should have. Our hope is that strong women's voices within this institution begin to shift priorities. We have to think more broadly about fundamental reform to the UN system.
There's need for the UN to play an interactive role with the people But as it is now, it's like the UN is there to set the agendas for the grassroots. We should look at the roots instead of starting at the top.
Quand les membres du Conseil de sécurité arrivent dans les villages, ils sont tellement pressés. Ils n'ont même pas le temps de parler aux gens. Ils ne mettent pas dans leur agenda la rencontre avec les femmes. Non, ils rencontrent les autorités. Les Nations Unies doivent changer sa façon de communiquer avec nous.
If you actually consider women as experts, if you consider women as knowledge providers, as negotiators, as signatories to these peace agreements, if you consider women's priority as the main and the center of the peace agreement agenda, this is a meaningful participation.
En vivant dans un pays en guerre pendant 20 ans, je sais ce que c'est. Et j'ai vu des hommes trembler. Les gens qui pensent que ce sont les femmes qui veulent seulement la paix, les hommes ne veulent pas la paix. Je ne pense pas. Parce que c'est tout le monde qui veut la paix pour que nous puissions vivre et faire le développement.
We need the solidarity, we need the support. And I love the word solidarity. I love it so much.
Is getting men to recognize their roles, our roles and responsibilities with regards to advancing gender equality and women's rights.
It's only when both men and women start to fight for that all democratic elements within society try to fight for that. We have a lot of experiences where we failed because we were alone.
I don't have one dream that is just specific for me, but there are people dreaming the same or similar dreams.
Quand il y a la paix, c'est tout le monde qui gagne. Mais quand il y a la guerre, c'est tout le monde qui perd.
We want to be involved in peace negotiations. We want to be involved in conflict resolution.
To take the lead and contribute to the aspired change for a better world, a changing world where we see equality between gender equality between men and women, where women can enjoy their rights. If we want to be in politics, we want to make politics. We want to make change, different rules of the game.